Do 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 do. Draw with Mr. Greg!
Hi boys and girls, today I'm going to show you how you can draw something like this, where you take a simple shape and you make it look 3D by using something really cool called a vanishing point and a light source. Okay, so what I did was I drew some simple shapes, and then I used the vanishing point, which is this dot, to help me to understand how to make it look 3D. And to do that, I drew in what are called rays. Rays, like the rays of the sun, come out of a central point. The central point being the vanishing point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ruler, and after you've drawn your shapes, you'll draw in what are called the rays. Now, the rays always go back to the vanishing point. You'll hear me say that word a lot, or those two words, vanishing point. So it's basically the place where everything goes back and then eventually vanishes. You'll see how I make it look like a 3D triangle, a 3D square, a rectangle, or circle after I add in all the rays. Okay? So let me do that real quick. Okay, now that I'm done doing that, I'm going to put in the back side of the shape, which will make it look 3D. The back side of this shape has to be the same, so we're going to go down. Just like I went down or up in this case, I'm going to go down and up in this case to build that wall. After I do that, I'm going to find the bottom by drawing in a line that mimics it or does the same thing. So now you can see that this box is ready to be shaded. To do the triangle, I'm ready to check my angle. This angle goes like that, so I'm going to try to match it just below. And then this goes pretty much straight across, so I'm going to match it going this way. Now the prism that I've created, or the little tent looking shape, needs some thicker lines around it, and then later on when I go to shade it, it'll look great. Alright, as far as this line goes, it's straight down, so I'm going to draw another straight, and then where that corner meets, it's going to go across like this, so right across. See how these are becoming three-dimensional? Even without shading, it looks like it's coming off the page. It'll definitely help once you add shading to make it look more 3D. And that's why you have to understand what a light source does. Okay, I've saved some of the harder ones for last. The circle is curved. That means this would be curved. And it's going to look sort of like a cylinder, or like a can of Pringles, right? Cans of Pringles are cylindrical, so we're going to make this cylinder go down and curve at the bottom, or like a sewer pipe, you know, something like that you could pour liquid into. Okay, ready? We're gonna draw a line here just to get practice getting that right curve. We're gonna come down and do that same curve, so it's the same thing here as it is here. It's just further away and towards the vanishing point. This line is straight down. This line will be straight down. Now you can see that I have everything I need to create a three-dimensional drawing, except I need some shading. And you can see this one here, the light source is coming from the right side, creating light on the right side of each shape. On this one, I put the vanishing point and the light source on the left side, which created more light on the left side of the object and more dark on the right. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I shade. I hold a pencil in a different way than I normally would. To write, I hold it here, but to shade, I move my fingers up and I hold it like this, very softly, so that I can put on less pressure. The light on this shape would be coming upwards, so this would be my lightest. Have very little shadow on it. This side would also have little shadow, but probably a little more so that it looks 3D. And then of course, the side right here is going to be my darkest side. So I'm going to go ahead in and change my direction with my shading tool. In this case, a pencil. You could do shading with any material, crayon, colored pencil, even oil pastel can be a great tool for shading. And then use your eraser to clean up any mistakes that you might have. Speaking of erasers, you're going to want to use your erasers to get rid of your rays. After you're finished shading, you'll want to get rid of your rays so that they look like they're just floating shapes out there, and yours will look great. So again, what you want to start with is the shapes first, then find your vanishing point, then put on your rays. After you do your rays, do the lines that are just the same, like this and this. They need to match. After that, you'll have your solid form, and then you can start figuring out what kind of shading you're going to put on it. In this case, the light source is crossing over it, so it would be darker on this side than it is on this side, and then maybe this would be quite a bit darker. So you can see I'm using more of a circular kind of shading there, and then I'm going to go with a hatching line until it's pretty well shaded in. Okay? I hope you have fun with this. Try to keep your hand clean. You can see I did get a little bit of a smudge there. You might want to put another paper down on top while you shade so that you don't get a big mess. But again, this is just practice. So have fun, and I'll see you on the next video.